Hello, everybody, and welcome out to episode 2 of the Pod of War Nintencast, which is a very rare thing to see. I am your host, EOF Gizmo, joined this week by Mr. Nintendo, Massive Das Chris Mengele.
Hello, everyone.
So, Chris, we're back after 1 year. We do a yearly episode, if we look at our YouTube channel, of the Nintencast. So, what has prompted us, Chris, to come back to the Nintencast?
Milk inside a bag of milk, which came out this week on Nintendo Switch.
We already have a video on the channel for that, Chris. We don't need to do another video.
Okay,
it's, of course, Pokemon Violet and Scarlet, which has come out today. This is a first impressions / Nintendo catch-up episode. You can see the trailer I've got playing here. As you can see in the trailer runs at a beautiful frame rate, which I'm sure we're going to talk about, Chris.
Yes.
So before we get into that, this is an unusual rigmarole. What have you been playing on Nintendo? Let's go with this week, because I think if we did this year, this would be a 3-hour episode of you telling us every single game that's come out for the Switch. So what have you been playing pre-Pokemon this week?
Well, obviously, I joked about the milk inside the bag / outside the bag games, which I got. I got like first impressions sort of review on the channel of a series I'm going to try to bring back each week with indies and stuff like that. So I played that, so you can watch that video if you find out more on that. And then the other thing I've been playing, which again might turn into a video, is A Little to the Left, which we talked about actually on the podcast or in my own post podcast when we're talking about my Steam Deck. Game's coming soon, and I said to Craig, so A Little to the Left is actually coming soon. Be tempted of that, and then it did come out. And it's like, it's $12.99 or something. I might leave it, and then literally, I think it's the day after we had the Nintendo Direct, and it dropped right after the Nintendo Direct. I had like £8 of gold points in my thing, so I ended up paying like. I'm paying like £2 for it on Switch, and it's not a game that's going to really tax the Switch. Like, I've always used Neon White as the example of a game that I would have played on the Steam Deck, non-Switch, because even though it runs at 60 frames a second, it doesn't look great, and you can see where this game is not that sort of game that's going to really tax the Switch. So only paying £2 for it over $12.99 on Steam. Made sort of sense, and it's like a sort of like relaxing puzzle game. I think it was last year a game called Unpacking came out. Me and Craig actually both fans of it. Came to, it's not everything. We played it through Game Pass. We just like moved all the stuff around and unpack it and put it in like where the place is, sort of thing. It's like that, and you're given like a cutlery drawer, and you basically got to put the cutlery back in the drawer. So I've actually been playing it on handheld with the touchscreen. So you like touch the knife and fork, and you put them back in the thing, and you got to put them all in the order, and you get like one or two stars. Because some of the puzzles had books, so I just lined the books up in like size order, so like the shortest one to the thing, because that's how I would have it on my shelf. So 1 star, and you actually look on the spine of the books, they've got a pattern, so you can go, and if you actually could have made the pattern and got 3 stars, so it's a bit of that high score thing as well. But that's sort of it, because I've been busy playing God of War on the PlayStation to really play much on Switch until Pokemon came out.
And obviously we'll talk about God of War on our usual episode of the Pod of War Gamescast. But very nice, Pinky, very nice. I mean, is there anything you've been tempted yet with the Black Friday sale, or have you not had a look yet? Because obviously that launched last night.
I had a quick look.
It's a really awful shop, isn't it? As well, by the way, I haven't forgotten because I don't use the Switch very often, and it is slow and it is not organised in any particular order, which is so annoying.
Well, I was going to say, I think
on
the best on the current offers, I think like the best selling things supposed to be on the top, but then I know one of the games you picked up and you might talk about, I think that would have at the price would be near the top, so I'm not sure if that is the correct order. I started scrolling and then it just chugs along and it's like, right, I've given up.
There is some really good deals. I will say there are some really, really good deals.
Yeah, I seen like Catherine's like 13 quid, which is like obviously the remaster. I saw that Lost in Random game, which I know Craig's played it and I've talked about it quite a few times that I want to play it. And again, I'm just going to play it if I do on Xbox because it's on Game Pass. But it's like 4.99. It's like, oh, that's kind of cheap in the platformer. Weirdly, if I try to check sales for the Switch, I normally use the web site on the actual like thing instead of actually the eShop because it doesn't chug along. But not occasionally, not everything is shown on on there. But I just find that's easier to look through. But there's definitely some going to be some good deals there. It's just they got so much to play, playing Pokemon, God of War, and then obviously if you've watched the main podcast, you know I've bought Harvestella, I've bought Tactics Ogre for my Switch and stuff like that.
Still
So
got Nier Automata, which is actually
yeah,
which actually is now £24, I think, on Amazon for
yeah,
Switch. But
yeah.
yeah,
So
I mean, Penguin will never learn. But wow, you love it, don't you? So it's all good fun.
yeah.
So well, I'll talk what I've been buying and playing on Switch. Obviously, before I turned on my Switch for the Pokemon day, which I bought when I wasn't going to buy it. Like I think I've talked smack on it quite a bit, and I haven't watched any footage. So the footage I'm showing now is the most footage I've actually seen of Pokemon. But I just decided on a whim to get it today because I have a free couple of days, and I was like, you know what? I wasn't hyped for it because I haven't let myself get hyped for it, but it was one of those things where because it's bought on a whim, I'm actually quite excited to play it because I haven't overanalyzed it. I haven't like done all the stuff we usually do with games. So like for me now, like it's turned up. I know basically nothing about it bar what's on this 14-minute video, and I'm just playing it. And obviously we'll talk about Pokemon a bit in a minute. And as for anything else in the sale, I think there's a lot of good stuff on there. If you're just Switch, I think you can get some absolute killing for like 50 quid. You can get like 4 or 5 really good games, like stuff like Saints Row the Third is about £4, like stuff like that. There's like I think the Witcher port is on there on sale. I think there's all kinds of good stuff to be bought and purchased. Obviously Nintendo's own games, they're as cheap as they're gonna be, which is like 35, 33 quid. But it is double points, I believe, at the moment on Switch first party games. So I think you can like I used my points. I had about £6 worth of points and a gift card, so I ended up paying, what did I pay for Monster Hunter Rise? Like £4 or £5, maybe 10 tops, like not a lot at all. And I haven't played Monster Hunter properly since 3 Ultimate. I played a little bit of World, but that was about it. But like maybe 15 hours of World, so I haven't played any Monster Hunter for a long time. So I've been tempted for a little while because obviously Craig's got your old copy because you've bought Sunbreak. So I decided to pick up Monster Hunter Rise. I installed it, so that'll be a game I'm looking forward to playing. And because it's a digital install, it's perfect because like it's just always on the console. So I did actually watch a couple of the very old launch, like demo and first impression Monster Mash podcasts today when I was at work, just to kind of get a feel. Obviously, those guys are experts when it comes to Monster Hunter, so I was kind of just listening to that and just listening to the game, and I was like, I'm quite looking forward to playing that once I'm done.
Which weapon are you gonna go with?
I don't know. I haven't done any research yet. So I always used to play longsword
That's
or
what I actually
heavy bow.
Yeah,
So they were the two I used to use, was either heavy bow or longsword. But I'm gonna have a look. I just seen isn't there like Ego Raptor is in it now? Did I see that?
possibly.
He was like this new character because they're still putting updates out. There was literally an update video like yesterday.
Yeah, they had
So
like a Monster Hunter
yeah,
direct
I'm pretty
thing.
sure it's Ego Raptor from Game Grumps is like a new character voice you can have,
Right.
which is quite funny. But yeah, so I'll have a look. I quite like the look of dual blades maybe, but I don't know. You've always talked quite highly about the single player, so I'll probably test around with that. And then if me, you, and potentially Craig jump on, we can
Yeah, because you do need to do multiplayer to finish the sort of like, if you were to play Sunbreak and stuff in the end game sort of thing, you have like a single player village quest, and then you have the hub quests, which do have cutscenes and stuff into them, and then you have to have done a certain quest, which will then allow you to play Sunbreak. So that's all I sort of done. I've only sort of dabbled in the multiplayer again with randoms. It's always easy to find people playing. Obviously, the game super popular in in like Japan, so that's all I sort of done. And Sunbreak came out obviously this year, and I've only done like I think monster like master rank 2, and obviously goes to like master rank 99 or 9, something ridiculous like that. But obviously, if you to follow the story quests, I think they go to like master rank 7 or something. I've only done 2, so definitely would go back to it. And then obviously, if you're doing earlier monsters, I still get gear and stuff from them to possibly use.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to giving it a go. Like I said, it's one of those things I haven't played Monster Hunter in a long time, so
Mm.
looking forward to that. So before we get to,
I guess the only other thing was, I don't know if I did mention it on the podcast or not. I'm still sort of going through Fire Emblem Fates Revelations, which I think I'm
oh,
on
on
like
3DS.
on 3DS. So I think I'm on like chapter 20 or like 27. So I still got
Nice.
quite a thing, but yes. And then when I do that, I would have finished all three like stories of sort of Fates. So that's like what I'm playing on my 3DS at the moment. If anyone was to go, hey, what maths? What are you playing on 3DS? It'd be Fire Emblem uh, Fates.
So I actually lent
Don't
my
ask me what. Don't ask me what I'm playing on Wii U because I have no
oh
idea.
don't I actually lent my 3DS to my partner because she's been working at like home, and
Yeah,
I got her Nintendogs and Cats, Pengy. So
nice.
that's one for the collection, one that will definitely go on the shelf in our house, I'm sure.
Mm.
But you can make sandwiches in this game, God. But
Yeah.
yes. So let's talk about our top of the show, our tots. Thank you, tots, 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 tots.
Yes.
It's our first impressions of Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. So obviously it came out today at the
Hmm.
time of recording. You got it. You're not working at the moment, are you? This week.
No.
So you've had a fair bit. How many hours have you put in?
About five,
Nice.
5, maybe even 6. I've got the game just running in the background, so this is gonna be like an extra hour to
Oh
like.
no.
So when I finished it, I can put it on my list. It's gonna be like 41 hours or something.
Yeah, I think for me it's I mean I'm an hour in. So I finished work, I played an hour, I had my tea so we could talk about it on the show. But yeah, what's your first impressions, Pinky? What do you think?
Yeah, pretty good actually. So far, because obviously like the critical reviews are a bit all over the place and stuff. But I enjoyed Legends at the start of the year and what that did for Pokemon. The same with this one. Obviously, the opening sort of tutorial bit is a bit long. But you do get to do capture some wild Pokemon and that early. Oh, and then I just like sort of enjoy walking around, chucking out my Spriggerito in my cat. You can just press the right trigger, chuck him out. You can battle yourself, level up and stuff, and get him to go pick your items and all that good stuff. And then obviously when you do battle a trainer or whatever, that's pretty it's Pokemon. It's always fun to do. Build your little team up. It is the performance one is weird because there's like a certain scene at like the very start, and it's like, oh, trying to make the game like, oh, this is the region. Look how nice it is, and it's like, look at that tree. Just look at it. It's just like someone's just painted a bit of splodge of green on like the
Yeah, I mean,
screen. I'm like,
we'll absolutely talk about how it runs for sure. But from a gameplay and sort of world environment, are you pretty pleased with what you've played so
yeah,
far?
yeah, pretty pleased so far. I do like like I said, changes like the wild Pokemon are in the thing. Obviously, being 5 hours in, I have done one gym so far in like 5 hours and stuff, and I can do all three story paths because this in this they got like the three stories. Then I believe you got to do them all to like get like the last one.
Yeah, I'd
So
imagine
I've
so.
done, one of the sort of gyms which is, I guess it's trying to lead you in the direction of like two of the past sort of thing, like or where two of the characters you meet, like your rivals and stuff at the start of the game, which you always have, and that's where they are as well. So it is trying to put you in like a bit of a path right away. And then I did the first gym, and the rival, she's like, "Oh, I wonder what the other like rival dude's doing," and you like, so it's trying to like get you going, sort of right of way. But you could go do like there's a gym near the gym I did just done, but it's got like a little description and it says something like other Pokemon gym leaders even fear this gym leader. So I'm like, well, I don't. It doesn't tell you what level she is, but based on the description, I'm like, well, she's going to be like one of the last gyms I sort of do. She must be a high level gym. That's something I don't like, and I like the description gives you a bit of detail, but like I could have walked there next and got absolutely obliterated, and like, well, that I would have, bumped into Pokemon along the way and leveled up on the line. But like, all that would have been a bit of a waste. So like, I mean, maybe if they give you like a bit of like, oh, level, this is a level 40 gym, well, I'm going to avoid that gym at the moment because I'm already level 18 or whatever.
So yeah, is it is it kind of falling into the I dare not say it, but the Breath of the Wild thing with you, and it's like I think I know what you'll say to this, but it's like it's not as drastic sort of pull away from the formula that Breath of the Wild is to you. But do you think it's like it's on its way to that, and like if it's kind of towing the line a bit, where like it's still got the gyms,
Mm.
but like you said, because they're non-linear now, like is that like signposting not very good? Obviously, I'm so not far into the
Mm.
game, I have no context for any of that kind of stuff yet.
Yeah, well, it's fine. So I guess you just got to sort of like read the descriptions that they've given you. Like again, the first one, it kind of is pointing you in that direction. Like this is the first gym because this is where your rival's gone. So it kind of make, and this is like the first Titan because this is where that other character has gone. So it's kind of pointing in. And I guess you like you've got to read descriptions, read the like sort of lore, and figure out the next one. I guess that's also a bit of like the Pokemon. You're exploring the Pokemon
Yeah.
world.
Do you
That's
like
the,
that? That's probably the question I have. Like, do you like that it's slightly more open, but not completely open? Like, it's open in that
uh,
it's an open world, but it's not open in like you're not guided in any way. Like, you are still guided a little bit. Like, but it is like a
yeah,
bit more
I
explorative.
do like that, but I just like maybe they should have had levels next to like the gym's icon and same
Like
with the
the
Titans.
what game is it? Like the most games have like the color thing, don't they? Where like if it's got like
Yeah,
red, like his name's in red, you're like, oh god, like you're way too underleveled for this or that kind of thing.
yeah, sort of thing. That might be might be handy because I'm I'm heading actually towards the first Titan, or I'm what I'm going to call the first Titan because that's where the other sort of character is, and there's a gym nearby that. So I'm actually going to do the Titan and then go to that gym, and then if I do get absolutely obliterated, I'm like, well, I'm going to head to I don't know the next gym up or the next Titan, and then come back there. And obviously, I would have leveled up on the way, but I guess that's part of the sort of learning, but and you being new to this region and sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean it's still a kids game, right? So it's
Yeah.
like they can only do so much, but yes, I mean I agree with you.
Because
Like
the other thing is, it's a kid's game, so like I could see a little kid getting this and getting like really for well, that gym next to the Titan could be like a level 50 gym and go and they've accidentally wandered into there and get absolutely obliterated and getting frustrated. I could see that for kids because are they going to read the inscriptions and stuff that says like like I said, there's a gym near the first get a gym that says other gym leaders are like scared of this character. Well, clearly she must be a difficult leader, so I'm not going to tackle her first or second, I should say.
yeah, it's tough, and it's tough to get the balance. Obviously, when we were kids, we didn't have as many. I feel like
Mm,
Pokemon Red and Blue were
mm,
also kind of like that when we were kids because it was linear, but it was like you weren't there wasn't as anywhere near as much signposting as you would
mm.
think for a lot of the game. Like the
Yeah.
middle of that game is like if you didn't know you wouldn't know to go to like
Mm,
Saffron first or Fuchsia
mm.
first or whatever, right? So
Yeah, I think the best thing they could have done, and I know when the game, I mean, you've not seen many when the trailers were first shown and they said about this open world and go and everything. If the gyms sort of scaled to you, so I obviously mostly more game development. But if I went to that other gym next to the first one, well, I know the game knows I've got six Pokemon. They're level 15 on average, so the gym leader's only gonna have level 15 Pokemon or whatever or maybe 16 a little bit higher or something to be a bit
Yeah,
tougher,
or
and then
maybe do it based
and
on what gyms you have. Like if you've got one
yeah,
badge, then the
if
next
you
gym
got
leader is
yeah,
level
if you got
20. If
bad,
you've got
so if
two,
I
they're
go
level
to the
40,
so if I go
etc.
to the 8th gym, and obviously I've got 7 badges, and after you've done a gym, it normally goes like Pokemon up to level 25 listen to you or something. Maybe they could have gone like when you got 7 badges, go to the last gym. It's like, well, it's going to be level 50 Pokemon in this gym because they've got 7 badges. Maybe they could have done so you can still do the gyms in any order you want. So if you start with the fire type, maybe you go to the grass gym first because it's going to be the easiest one for you or whatever. And then when you get to, maybe they could have done something like that, and instead of having the gym leader set with whatever Pokemon they've got.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Nice. Well, yeah, I mean, I agree with you in that regard. I think it's a nice change, and it seems like a good evolution from Arceus Legends.
Mm.
Um, kind of taking Pokemon into the new age. I think for me, the big positives to the game are most of the thing. Like, I love the UI. I think the UI is really clean, really nice. I love the art design. I love the they've got the cool like anime designs of the Pokemon in like the menu, like silly little
Mm.
things like that. I think it's a really nice touch. Like, and it feels like a modern game. Like, I think the world building seems quite nice. The music is incredibly good.
Mm.
Really, really good music throughout so far. I've definitely noticed that. And I like, to be honest with you, I like almost every aspect of the game apart from the stuff that is clearly the issue. And that is obviously, we'll talk about it now, is that the performance is
Mm.
absolutely atrocious. Like, it is so
Yes.
ugly and so framey. And obviously, I'm playing on a V1 launch day Switch, so I don't know if it's any better for you on. You've got the OLED, right? Is it any better for you, like docked on the OLED?
Mm.
But for me, docked it is not as pretty as these trailers that we're showing you. Put it that way.
Yeah, it is not, especially when you're in the big sort of like city, and like you can see like a character not that far away, and they're going like 2 frames a second and stuff, and like it's like all the textures, some of the textures and
Yeah,
that,
some of the
like all.
pop in. It's the. I think this is the
I
glitchiest
haven't
Nintendo game I've ever played.
I've not really noticed too much bad popping at the moment. It is mainly like the textures and the frame rate of characters, and there's a bit where I'm walking up the stairs and some characters are walking down the stairs and their legs just look so weird.
Yeah, I think even like in like the first bit when you go down the stairs in your own house, like the character like leans over like a plank. It's really strange.
Mm.
And
I
you
was
can
gonna say
even
that's
see in the
very
trailer I'm showing now, like the Sunfloras that are running Elijah, they look like they're running at about 15 frames a second, but the game's running at like 60. Like, it looks
mm.
so jarring. The windmill looks like it runs at 4 frames a second, and
Yeah, it's like the furthest one in the back, and so like I know games sort of Monster Hunter, for instance, does that because obviously you got the smaller monsters and stuff like that, and when you're far away, that you can kind of see that like especially the flying ones, you're like, oh, those wings and stuff. It looks like that is running. And then obviously when you get closer, and that it, sorts itself out. So it's obviously a trick that Capcom are using because that game does look ridiculous and runs
yeah.
ridiculous on
So
the
that's
Switch.
what I was going to say to you was that obviously you've played Xenoblade Chronicles this year, and like Monolith Soft obviously always help out with Zelda, which is why Breath of the
Yeah.
Wild ran as well as it did. Like, could Game Freak have not gone and, hey, can we just have a bit of help? Like, it just seems like they really have struggled with optimization. Like, I think its review score has been hit 10, 15 points because of it. Because I think for everything I've played so far, it's absolutely the best Pokemon game I've played in years.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's
really
like,
fun so far. Like again, I'm only like 5 hours in. I've only done one gym of
yeah, like
eight, and I
I
haven't.
say this is on like an hour and a half in. Like, it's just everything that I've played so far is really enjoyable and really modern, but
Mm.
it just can't handle it on the Switch. It just cannot cope with what it wants to do, which is really sad to be
Mm.
honest. It does make you think about, are we any closer to a new Switch model, like a new Switch, like a new Switch Plus or whatever the hell they're going to call it.
Mm. Who knows? I can see it being called Twitch Plus, especially if you got the plus and minus signs on
Oh,
the
don't.
controller.
I've
They,
still I've got a launch Switch, so I've managed to avoid a light. I've managed to avoid a version 2, and I've managed to avoid an OLED. So I would we'll see. I mean, we could do a whole episode about what we want from Nintendo, but we'll save that for maybe next one. But yeah, so overall, are you pleased with Pokemon so far? That's the short question. Yeah, yes, you're pleased.
Yeah.
Yes, you're going to play it. Obviously,
Yeah.
we're going to talk about it more on the main games cast, and I'd like to make the Nintencast a monthly thing. So maybe we'll talk about it. Is there anything you really don't like about the gameplay?
Nothing as of yet.
It's Pokemon, right? I think it's only so much you
Yeah,
can.
it's that's the thing. It's the Pokemon, and I like that. The Pokemon are now in the open the world, and there's got that quick battle option, but it's called the Let's Go option,
Which
where
is really confusing because obviously they've got Pokemon Let's Go. But
okay, and you can just chuck your Pokemon out, and they can level up and do a bit of battling and stuff like that. Which is kind of handy. It's like, once I've battled I don't know, Fido properly. I'm like, I can just chuck my cat out. They can keep battling these random Fidos on the thing. They can level up and stuff like that. That's the one thing. I haven't seen that many different Pokemon as of yet. But I've only again, I'm only been in two sort of areas.
what's
so
your
I have
favorite so far? What's your favorite new Pokemon so far?
I do like LeChonk, the pig. Mine's not evolved yet, but he's pretty cool.
I'm in love with LeChonk. I want a LeChonk Teddy so bad. I think LeChonk is the most adorable little fella. It's cool that he was a tutorial catch this time, as opposed to just making you do. But I am curious to see what kind of Pokemon. Because obviously I've only just really noticed watching this trailer, and there's weird Pokemon like Skiploom and Sableye and stuff. So I'm interested to see the team that I'm going to end up making.
Yeah, so I have 6 Pokemon at the moment, but I can only obviously start or end all the way through. We see, but I can definitely. This is one. Oh, actually, I changed my Pokemon quite a bit in Legends because it had the auto leveling up, everyone XP'd, and you could sort of chuck out your Pokemon in Legends and stuff. But you can definitely see me changing some Pokemon up quite thing, because normally Sword and Shield, I knew what Pokemon I wanted, so I just right, I've got my 6 Pokemon, that's my team, and that's it. Yeah, I can definitely see me changing the team up a bit throughout the game. And I don't know which ones to look. It's because you picked up Scarlet and I've got Violet. I have no idea really what the exclusive ones are, apart from obviously the box-covered ones. And there's one that they had in the trailer. Apart from the one they had in the trailer and the box Pokemon, I do not even know what exclusives I've got this time round.
Yeah, so I've done no research. I'm very curious to see what kind of teams I put together and what new Pokemon is there, and also just in general, I'm looking forward to doing the raids, which they're showing on screen right now. So it's I think there's lots of exciting things to definitely try out. So that was our first impressions of Pokemon.
The one thing though, I did see, because the Pokemon centers are now Pokemon stops, and they look like a little bit fuel stations. You can heal your Pokemon, and that's where you can buy Pokeballs, and that is all combined. One thing, it's got this big yellow circle where you can do the multiplayer. That is friend codes and all that good Nintendo stuff. So you can't play Pokemon with 3 other random people. You can do it with raids though, and when you go, because I did a raid, and it was do you want to play with anyone? And obviously did, but actual walking around, which you can do 4-player co-op. Yeah, you have to have a friend code for that, and I dread to think what it runs with 4 people playing at the same time.
Well, we will have to find out, Penguin, when we attempt to do that to complete the game. Obviously, we have to get all Pokemon, do everything, otherwise we're not allowed to play anything else.
Yeah.
That's it. Right. Well,
do I get a platinum?
Yeah, I'll get you a platinum for that, Pinky. Well, thank you for watching then and listening to the Nintencast. If you like this, please comment. Please like the video. Let us know what you think of Pokemon. What do you think of our opinions of Pokemon, and what kind of Nintendo stuff you want us to talk about? Because we do like talking about Nintendo every now and then.
Yeah. What weapon should Dave start with?
What weapon should I start? I know there's a lot of Monster Hunter fans, so let me know. What do you think I should try? What do you think I'll like? And obviously, will Pengy help me complete it? Will he do it?
Yeah, I can do.
So thank you for watching. We will see you next time.
Bye.